Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Maraṇaṃ taṃ jīvitaṃ. Life ends with death. Friends, today we all got together to perform a special meritorious deed in order to share merit with the departed mother of Amy and the departed father of Eddie. Now, as we all got together, we all observe 5 precepts and offered the puja in the name of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha by recollecting the great virtues of the Triple Gem. And now you all are going to do a very special meritorious deed. As the Buddha said, giving Dhamma is giving ambrosia. Sharing Dhamma is one of the greatest dana. It is not simply giving food and drinks. If one is ready to share the Dhamma, that is one of the greatest dana. So now you all are going to listen to the Dhamma. For this Dhamma talk, our topic is Buddhist perspective of death. Once we are born, our life is uncertain. Death is certain. Once we are born, death is unpredictable, unavoidable, unstoppable. What is to be stopped is not the death but birth. We as Buddhists, we talk about deathlessness. Deathlessness is possible only with birthlessness. If there is birth, death is unavoidable. Therefore, the Buddha wanted to find a way to stop death, not deathlessness, but birthlessness. Our Buddha, before his attainment of enlightenment, as a bodhisattva, he started to reflect on the nature of beings. While he was reflecting on this, he understood beings are born again and again. They live in this society again and again. They live after death, after their birth. They live and they then die, and they depart and are born again. So it's a circle, born again and again. He understood this circle. With that understanding, he wanted to find a way to stop this death. Death is not possible without stopping birth. That is why he when he talked about paticca samuppada, he understood not from the beginning of the 12 links, but from the end of the 12 links. It is clear, it is crystal clear that once we are born, aging and death, it is clear to everybody. Then he wanted to find why we are born. It is because of birth. Then why there is birth? It is because of existence. Like that, he understood this paticca samuppada. So we Buddhists accept pre-existence and re-existence. We accept that we were in the past, and we accept there will be we will be born again and again in the future. So that is what is called pre-existence and re-existence. Why we accept these two? Because of the Buddha's teaching. Mainly because we trust the Buddha. We not only simply having faith in the Buddha. That is not a faith. Ours is not a faith, but we trust the Buddha. We have confidence in the Buddha. We, according to the teachings of the Buddha, we know, according to our own experience, even through our own experience, we know that the Buddha was born in India. Even today, as most of you have been there, you know, you have seen the place where he was born, you have seen where he attained enlightenment, you have seen the place where he delivered his first sermon, and you have seen the place where he passed away. So with such background, historical background, archaeologically, historically, these are proven. So now we know that there was a person, there was a human called Buddha. He was born here in this world as a human, and he attained enlightenment, and on that day, the day that he attained enlightenment, he gained three kinds of knowledge. The first knowledge that he gained was the ability to understand his own previous lives. He recollected his previous lives. 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000, 100,000, then million, trillions, eons of lives, how he lived in the past. And he revealed this. This is what I understood. He revealed this, and we accept it. Not we simply believe, but we accept that word of the Buddha. That is why we accept the pre-existence, past lives, not only Buddha. Thereafter the Arahants, some other Arahants, they themselves recollected their previous lives and they revealed their own past lives. And even today, when we practice, we ourselves can understand, for some extent, we can understand our own previous lives even. When we practice, develop our mind, we can understand. If we can develop that particular knowledge, which is called Pubbe Nivasanussati Jnana, it's a jnana, knowledge, which is called Pubbe Nivasa Anussati, recollecting the previous lives. So that is one particular knowledge that he gained on that day, that night, of course, the full moon day of May, Vesak full moon day. He gained the first knowledge. That was the first knowledge. Then secondly, he gained another knowledge which is called Chutupapata Jnana. Chuti is departing. Uppatti is born. So those beings depart here and are born somewhere else. He understood that beings depart, whatever beings depart here are born somewhere else. So he understood this. That is what is called Chutupapata Jnana, the ability to understand how beings are born to this world and how beings depart here and are born somewhere else. Somewhere else means, as you know, according to Buddhist cosmology, there are 31 realms. We are born again and again in these realms. So, in this manner, according to the very teachings of the Buddha, we accept pre-existence and re-existence. We are born again and again in this samsara. So when we are born again and again, This is a circle. That is what is called sansaric circle. One day, the Buddha, early morning, having taken his begging bowl, he went for alms. He went to collect his meal, breakfast. And when he went to collect his breakfast, he went to a particular Brahmin's house. The name of the Brahmin was Udaya. When he went to his house, he offered dana, he offered food, he filled the bowl of the Buddha. Then Buddha did not want to go to another house. Therefore, Buddha came back to the temple and had his meal. And then the second day, again the Buddha visited the same place, same house. Then the second day also he filled up the bowl. Then the Buddha came back, and the third day also Buddha went to the same place. Then third day also he offered full bowl and said, "This greedy monk is coming again and again." This greedy monk is coming again and again. So Buddha got this word, again and again. Buddha gave a list of things happen again and again. What are the things happen? Buddha said, you see, the rain, it rains again and again. The farmers, they plow again and again. They sow seeds again and again. They then get harvest again and again. And say like the beggars, they beg again and again. The devoted persons, the pious person, he gives again and again. Having given again and again, he is born again and again in heaven. But Buddha said, in case of us, the Buddha pointed out, as worldlings, we are born again and again. We are born again and again. And then what happened? We die again and again. As we are born again and again, we die again and again. Then what happened? Our corpse, our body, that body is taken again and again to the charnel ground and swell the charnel grounds. Cemeteries are full. Because again and again happen these things. But Buddha pointed out something which never happened again and again. What is that? Maggancha ladda apuna bhavaya na punapunan jayati bhuri panya. Bhuri panya is a word for the arahant. Bhuri panya means great wisdom. The person who has great wisdom is bhuri panya. So Buddha said, Maggancha ladda, having gained path, the Noble Eightfold Path, apuna bhavaya, for not to be born again, the arahant, the great wisdom, the arahant will never be born again and again. So in this manner, Buddha pointed out things happen again and again. We have to understand clearly. Once we are born, things happen again and again. Once we are born, then we have sickness again and again. We grow again and again. We become old again and again. Things happen. We die again and again in samsara. These are the things to be understood. One day, while the Buddha was living in Rajgir, as you have been to this places, I can remind you, like Gijjakuta. When I say these names, Gijjakuta is the Vulture's Peak. You've been there. So Vulture's Peak is one of the great mountains there. There are several mountains around the city. That is called Rajagaha, the city. Around the city there is a range of mountains, where of them all the tallest, highest mountain, the tallest, Buddha showed this to the monks. Showing this, the Buddha said, monks, if one would have collected the bonds of one person's sansaric journey, while one person was wandering in this sansara, if one would have collected the bonds of that particular person throughout the samsara, his bond, the heap of bond might be taller than this mountain. That is how we are coming in samsara. Such a lone way, that is the meaning. Such a lone way. We are born again and again in different realms, being different beings. Animal beings, right? Animals, humans, and other hungry ghosts, devas, brahmas. That is how we are coming through this samsara. So we have to understand this. Now let's understand what birth is. Before understanding what death is, first we have to understand what birth is. Birth means the birth of these 5 aggregates. So-called man, woman, or beings, whatever beings, means 5 aggregates. So the Buddha himself said the birth means birth or manifestation of the 5 aggregates. What are the 5? Form aggregates, feeling aggregate, perception aggregate, volitional formation aggregate, and consciousness aggregate. These are the 5. So these 5 are interdependently existing. So it means there is an existence. There is an existence, but not a permanent existence. That is to be understood. There is nothing permanent in the whole system of the universe. No thing, nothing permanent. Everything is impermanent. Everything is ever changing. So these 5 aggregates are interdependently existing. Of the 5, the first one is form. This form is to be understood as a form. The Buddha said, understand this form as a form. F-O-A-M form. F-O-R-M form is to be understood as F-O-A-M form. Nothing co. It has nothing inside. Co, no co. Form. Form is to be understood like a form. Pena pindu pamang rupa. Then the Buddha said, Vedana, the second one is Vedana, feeling. Feeling is to be understood as a bubble. Nothing co. Bubble is come up, then burst, finish. Bubble. Like that, pain. Vedana bubbulupama. Marichi kupama sanya. Sanya, the perception, is to be understood as mirage. Marichi kupama sanya. Then sankhara, the formations, volitional formations, are to be understood as kadalupama. Kadalu is banana trunk, as a banana trunk. Suppose a person wants to find a core, the heartwood from a banana trunk, he cut the banana trunk and then layers and layers it remove. Nothing co. You don't find anything co inside. No heartwood. Just like that, sankhara kadalupama. This is the way. And finally, viññānaṁ māyūpamāca viññānaṁ. Viññāna, the consciousness, is to be understood as a magician. There are 6 magicians. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. Those are the 6 types of consciousness. So in this manner we have to understand what we call birth. Birth means birth of these things, these 5 aggregates, or we can say 6 senses. 6 senses, birth of 6 senses, gaining of 6 senses. When we are born, we gain these 6 senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This is what is called birth. nothing else. So once we are born, we exist. So this existence is called existence of both physicality and mentality. Physicality and mentality. This whole system, everything here can be divided into two: physicality and mentality, psychosomatic existence. So that existence is, in Pali, it is called Nama Rupa and Vijnana. Nama Rupa and Vijnana. So Nama Rupa is, Nama is one side, Rupa is the other side. Nama Rupa Paccha Vijnanam, Vijnana Paccha Nama Rupam. That is how the Buddha explained this in Paticca Samuppada. That is what is called existence. Existence of Nama Rupa and Vijnana. So Nama Rupa together, one of the cycle, the one half is Nama Rupa and Nama and Rupa, one side, and the other side, other half of the cycle is Vijnana. So it is like this all the time. It's in play, function. That is what is called changing. That is what is called sansaric existence, sansaric journey. This sansaric journey is to be cut off. In order to cut off this sansaric journey, one has to practice meditation, both samatha and vipassana. Without practicing vipassana, nobody can cut off this sansaric existence. So existence is to be understood. Now let's understand what death is. What is death? Death, as I said, is unavoidable. Once we are born, death is unavoidable. Death is the departure of our consciousness from this body. The consciousness, when we are alive, when we are existing, this, as I said earlier, the five aggregates. Five aggregates are like this: form, feeling, perception, volitional formation, and consciousness. Now, while we are living, all these are together like this, just like the fingers of the hand, together. When we die, what happens? When we die, just like the thumb is departing, just like this, we leave behind this form, body. We leave behind this part. And then what happens to others? They move to another existence. But not only these four cannot exist alone. These four cannot exist alone. There should be some subtle forms of form. So this means all together. The Buddha very clearly said in the connected discourses, there is a discourse named Bija Sutta, Seed Sutta, where Buddha very clearly said, if one says that this consciousness is moving, coming, going, moving from one place to another alone, which is wrong. Consciousness cannot move alone. It should go with other factors. So whenever we say Nama Rupa, it is also to be understood. Nama means feeling, perception, volitional formation, contact and attention. These five are called Nama. That is the mentality. Then physicality is earth, water, fire and air. These four are called physicality. So mentality and physicality, one side, and consciousness is the other side of the cycle. That is how the cycle is formed. Now, when we exist, this is what is called existence. So death has different aspects. There are different beings in the world. Different beings are born to this world. The third 31 realms. There are beings born in eggs. They are called andaja. Andaja means those who are born in eggs. Beings are born in eggs. You have to think and rethink of this. Beings are born in eggs. There are certain beings, they are, that is their place to be born. Andaja. Then secondly, Jalabhuja. There are beings born in mother's womb. And then Sansedaja. Those who are born in moisture, like flies, mosquitoes, like that. Then Opapathika. Opapathika means beings are born spontaneously, without the union of parents, such as hungry ghosts, devas. They are called spontaneous beings. Some people don't like to accept this. That is called Micchaditti. Because of Micchaditti, because of wrong view, wrong understanding, they don't know this. So those who have Micchaditti cannot come to the path, cannot come to right path. So in order to come to right path, one has to understand these two. So all those beings die. According to the nature of death, there are different categories, different ways. One particular is called Ayukaya. One is die. When people die, they die because of the extinction of their Ayu, the lifespan. Ayukaya. Then Kammakaya, the second one is Kammakaya, because of the extinction of karma. Then because of extinction of both Ayu and karma, lifespan as well as karma. And some other beings, they die accidentally. These are different ways of death. One day, Buddha said to a certain king. The king went to the monastery to see the Buddha at daytime, at noon. Then Buddha asked, why this time? It is not the right time to the king to visit the Buddha, right after, say, lunch. Then he said, Venerable Sir, my grandma died. Grandmother died. She is so fond of me, Bhante. I am so sad. So as he said this, the Buddha said, that is the nature. Not only your grandma. Not only your grandma. All beings die. The Buddha said, all beings die. Sabbe satta marissanti. Maranang tanghi jivitang. That is the part which I recited at the beginning of this talk. Maranang tanghi jivitang. Life ends with death. Sabbe satta marissanti. All beings die. Then life ends. Not the whole process, not the whole journey. Journey is not yet finished, but this life finished. Only this life. Sabbe satta marissanti maranang tanghi jivitang. Some people think that everything finished right after death. Therefore, do whatever you like. Enjoy this life. That is how people say and do. Enjoy. They try to enjoy this life, but nobody completed so-called enjoy. Nobody can do that. Simply we live. While we are living, we have to understand how to live. Living doing good deeds, living righteous life is the important thing. Living good deeds, understanding our own nature and understanding the nature of others. We have to do good deeds towards us and towards others, to the whole society, to the whole world. That is how we have to live. So, Buddha said, all beings die, life ends with death. Sabbe satta marissanti maranantang hijjita. Not only Buddha said that part, Buddha said what happens after death. Buddha said, Yatha kammang gamissanti punya papa palupaga. After death, what happens? Yatha kammang gamissanti. Thereafter, you are guided by your karma. You are guided by your karma. Yatha kammang gamissanti. According to what you have done, according to your actions done. If the actions are good, you will be born in good place. If the actions are bad, you will be born in bad place. Yatha kammang gamissanti punya papa palupaga. Both merit and demerit follow him or her. Punya papa palupaga. Nirayam papa kammanta. Those who have done unwholesome deeds will be born in hells. Punya kamma cha suggatin. Those who have done good deeds will be born in heavens. That is the teaching. Therefore, the Buddha said, therefore, do good deeds, do meritorious deeds, more and more meritorious deeds, so that you will be born in heavens. And your sansaric journey be peaceful, the sansaric journey be successful. Therefore, do good deeds again and again. That is the teachings of the Buddha. Friends, referring to our death, we don't know 5 different things. We never know what happens. 5 different things. What are the 5 things? Jevitang, Vyadi, Kalocha, Dehanikepanang, Gati. In Pali. Jevitang. We don't know exactly what happens to our life in future. We cannot predict. We cannot say how it ends, this life. Today we are in this manner. We don't know what happened in future. That is why the kings become beggars, beggars become kings. Nobody can predict. Nobody can decide correctly, properly, firmly what really happens in life. People, very poor people, one day they become presidents. Or the presidents become very poor persons, like that. Things happen. Jivitang, you cannot predict, cannot say exactly what happens about your life. That's the first thing. Jivitang. Secondly, Vyadi, we cannot say what type of disease will afflict for our death. What type of disease? Now today we are very healthy, but we don't know whether there are cancer cells or what some other things inside. What different types of ailments inside. We never know these things. Vyadi, Jivitang, Vyadi. Then the Kalu. We cannot predict the time that we die. When, whether it's young age, middle age or the old age. We cannot say what time. Exactly we cannot say this. Jivitang, Vyadi, Kalu. Then Deha Nikke Panang. We cannot say exactly where our body will be cast upon or cremated, buried. Sometime we can write this down in our last will. The mothers, fathers, Sometimes we write this down in our last week. This is how you to cremate my body. But eventually you don't know what happens. Sometimes you will be cremated, not the place, but far distant place, another country or something like that. Things happen like that. You cannot predict such things. Deha nikkepanang. Then finally the gati. Gati means where you are heading. After death, nobody can predict where you are heading, whether you are heading to the heaven or the hell. Once the Buddha said, according to karma, some people while here they are doing good deeds, but after death they are born in hell. And some people doing bad deeds here. Eventually they are going to be born in heavens, doing bad deeds here, but born in heavens like that. It is because of karma. Not because of karma done here, but previous karma. Suppose a person has done good deeds in the previous lives, but bad deeds here. So good deeds, the results of good deeds come forward and are born in heavens like that. Things happen like that. So in this manner we have to understand the nature of death. Referring to death, we can see the Buddha pointed out, as we all are born, we all die. Therefore, Buddha one day taught to the same king, King Kosala. Buddha said what is to be done. It was another day, he came to the temple and he said, Bhante, that millionaire, a sonless millionaire, sonless means he has no sons or daughters, sonless millionaire, Bhante, that millionaire died. Then he said further, Bhante, you see now this man, this millionaire, he had everything. He had, millionaire means he had a lot of things, right? Much money, wealth, properties, everything. But he did not use this. He had no idea to consume. He did not want to consume this. He did not eat enough, Bhante. He did not wear properly. He had no vehicle, no chariot, proper chariot to go here and there. Such a poor life he led, and finally he died. Now Bhante, as there is no person, no owner to his wealth, properties, all these were confiscated, and that is where from I am coming now, he said. Then the Buddha said, it is the nature of karma. He gained this according to his karma, good deeds done in his previous lives. In his previous lives, one of his previous lives, he was a millionaire. Buddha said, Buddha revealed the past lives, the story of past lives. Said, he was a millionaire. Then he saw a monk was coming towards to his house, begging for alms. Then he asked one person to give food to this particular monk. The monk was a silent Buddha. He was not a simple monk, a silent Buddha, Pacceka Buddha. He asked with a happy heart, he said this. And then the person offered dana, and he became very happy, so delighted by seeing this offering. And thereafter he went back home for a while and then came back to the front. Then he did not see the monk. Then he said, where is this monk? Just having taken this food, he is gone. If we give this food to a person here, we could have get something done. So this monk has taken food and gone. So he was upset, unhappy. It is because of this karma he gained many different things. He gained wealth, property, everything, but he could not consume. Where the Buddha said, what we are doing, Buddha said, Dhanyang, Danang, Rajatang, Jatarupam. We collect many things. We all collect many different things. What are the things we collect? Dhanyang. Let's see. Dhanyang. Dhanya means grains. Different types of grains. Like sesame, rice, different things, paddy, different types of grains. You know better. So grains, we collect these things. Then dhanyang, dhanang. Then we collect money, dhana. Then rajatang, silver objects, silver rings, silver necklace, bracelet, many different things, silver made of silver things. And then jata rupam, gold, gold rings, gold bangles, all these things we collect. When we collect them all, what do we think? Who's this? With the tag, there's a tag. What is that tag? Mine. Whose gold ring is this? Mine. Whose necklace is this? This gold necklace? Who's this? It's mine. Sometimes nobody else can touch. Nobody else can use it. Mine, mine, mine. Oh, me, I, myself, like that. So we collect these things. Dhanyang, Dhanang, Rajatang, Jatharupang. Then not only that, Pariggahang, different objects, items. iPad, iTouch, iPhone, I, different things. Right? Oh, computers, right? Many different things. Many objects at home. All these, you brought all these to your home, your own home, thinking this is my own home, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, with all this idea of mine. All these are things. Not only that, then people, different people, this is my mom, this is my dad, this is my so and so, many different persons, friends, relatives, all these are mine. Then how many things called mine? Then Buddha said, all this, one day, Buddha said, Sabbang anadaya gantabbang. One day you will have to go, leaving behind them all. Leaving behind them all, you will have to go. One day. That is what is called death. When you die, nothing, no object, no material things, even the size of a needle, so even the size of a pin, you cannot take. You cannot take. All, even this body, we leave behind. Only consciousness can move. So leaving behind all, Buddha said, Sabbang anadaya gantabbang, sabbang nikkippa gaminang. Then he said, what we take? Yancha karoti kayena vacha udachesata tanghi tassa sakang hoti tanchadaya gacchati. Whatever he has done, good deeds or bad deeds, only that is his own. That is what you can call mine. Therefore, Buddha's instruction is, do good deeds, more and more good deeds, because good deeds merit, meritorious deeds. If we do good deeds, more and more good deeds, they are ready to go with us. You know better in the Dhammapada, the first two stanzas, Buddha explained, all actions are led by the mind. Mind is their master, mind is their maker. Act or speak with a defiled state of mind, then suffering follows us. Unwholesome deed done, the results follow us. Like the wheel of the cart that follows the foot of the ox. And it is opposite. If we have done good deeds with a happy mind, pure hearted, that good deed, the results follows us like our own shadow. The Buddha said, like your own shadow, which never depart. Just like that. Friends, this is why we have to do more and more good deeds. You have to understand death is unavoidable. It is to be repeatedly recollected. Repeatedly recollected. Buddha said, one day Buddha said, 5 things to be repeatedly recollected. As we were born, we have to repeatedly recollect, repeatedly think that I am not exempt, I am not gone beyond aging. I am in the nature of aging. That is to be understood. Then secondly, I have not gone beyond sickness. I am in the nature of sickness. Then one has to repeatedly recollect, I am in the nature of die. I have not gone beyond death. That is to be repeatedly recollected. And the 4th one is, one has to repeatedly recollect that whatever call mine is in the nature of changing and in the nature of vanishing. Changing, vanishing, whatever you dear delight, all these things are in the nature of changing and vanishing. Finally, the 5th one, whatever actions, volitional actions done through your body, word, mind, it is yours, it is your karma. You are the owner of your karma. Those are the 5 things to be repeatedly recollected. In the time of the Buddha, there was a family practicing meditation. This is what we have to do. As we know, once we are born, we die, we are in the nature of aging, nature of sickness, such things. We have to do good deeds. What are the good deeds? We can practice generosity, we can observe morality, we can practice meditation. When practice meditation, we can remember, recollect, we can be aware of death, we can recollect the nature of death. Nature of death, when recollect the nature of death, we can understand different persons died in the past. We can start from the Buddha, how people died in the past. That is how we remember, recollect the nature of death. We start from the Buddha, then Arahants, the kings, the different millionaires in the time of the Buddha, different persons in the time of the Buddha. Then later, people, great people who lived in the past. Even then, finally, you can come to your country and understand the great people who lived here. And then you can understand how your own relatives died. And finally, you can understand your own family members, very close, near, dear ones, how they died. Finally, this is what happened to me also. That is how you have to recollect that is called recollection of death. That is one method of practicing death meditation. That is called recollection of death. And there is another method which is called awareness of death. That is to understand the instantaneous of death. That is to practice from a certain time you are going to practice and you repeat that your death is certain. Death is certain, life is uncertain. Suppose you start from 10 years. Now, I may die, that is how you practice. I may die within 10 years. My life is uncertain, death is certain. Then you you reduce the time. I may die within 9 years. My life is uncertain, death is certain. I may die within 8 years. My life is uncertain, death is certain. Like that, years, then month. I may die within 11 months, 10 months, 9 months, like that month. Then you can come to weeks. I may die within 3 weeks, 10 days. I may die within 5 days, like that, days. Then hours. Then you can reduce to minutes, and then second. I may die on this moment, like that. You reduce the time and understand your death. That is called awareness of death. Which is very powerful meditation. There you are practicing both serenity and insight. Friends, this is how we have to practice mindfulness or awareness of death. In the time of the Buddha, there was a family named Dharmapala family. With this story I want to stop. Dharmapala family. The family, they all practice awareness of death. In the family there were 5 members: father, mother, brother, sister, and the brother's wife. Those are the family members. One day, the father and son, they went to their paddy field, and while they were cleaning the paddy field, snake was bitten to the son, cobra. The snake was bitten, and then he died on the spot. Now, father was not upset. He knows what death is. Death is unavoidable. Anytime. It's happened any time. So he knows it. Therefore he did not worry. He did not upset. But he wanted to send a message to home. He looked around. Then he saw a man. He said, please tell the family members to bring only 1 packet of lunch. Then he sent the message for them all to come there, the family members. So they all came, and when they came there, they all got together. They understood that as he died, so death is not something new, because they have been practicing awareness of death. Therefore, they put a funeral fire and put his son on it and started to burn, cremate. By this time, the person, as he had been practicing, their son, as he had been practicing, after his death, he was born in heaven. Now after he was born there, he wanted to understand from where he came. When he observed, when he wanted to understand that, he saw what is going on here. Now his dead body is on the funeral fire. It is burning. And the family members are there. So he wanted to come there. He came as a young man. Not as the deity, as the Deva. He came there and he wanted to inquire, why don't they cry? He went to his father and asked, he said, are you burning, are you roasting wild boar, right? So can I also get some pieces like that? He said, as if it's burning the wild boar. Wild boar is, pig. So whether they are burning a pig, because nobody is crying. So he asked, he thought that he wanted to say that it's like roasting a wild boar. So he asked some pieces, and then he said, no, we are not burning, we are not roasting a wild boar, but our own son. Then he asked, oh, then why don't you cry? Your son, right? Your son. So why don't you cry? He said, well, I know what death is. It is like the snake, just the snake leave behind the dead skin, right? When the snake leave behind the skin, dead skin, it just go. The only skin is here, so no point crying, he said. Then he went to his mother and asked, you are the mother, why don't you cry? Then mother said, well, I did not invite him to come and conceive in my womb. I did not ask him to go. He came, as he came, he went away. So why should I cry? She said. Then third one, he went to see his wife. He asked, why don't you cry? As you are his wife, why don't you cry? You loved him very much, and why don't you cry? Then she said, crying after one's death is like crying for the sun and moon. No point crying after death. You never get it. That's why, that's the meaning. You never get it. You never get back the person. Therefore I don't cry. And finally he went to his sister and asked, why don't you cry? Then she said that, I don't want to cry. If I cry, simply I become skinny and I become ugly, so I don't want to cry, because it's the nature of death. So in this manner, there's nothing to be cried, nothing to be worried, nothing to be lamented. There is nothing to be lamented. We have to understand the nature. Death is unavoidable. So in this manner, as Buddhists, we have to understand, while we are alive, we have to do more and more good deeds. When we do more good deeds, we can understand our own nature. And at the same time, we have to understand, we have to reflect the nature of death, our own death. We are in the nature of death, die. We have not gone beyond death. It is to be repeatedly recollected. If we have this sort of consciousness, if we are practicing Buddhism properly, we can live happily, peacefully here in this world. And after death, we can be born in good place, in a heaven, or in this very world, the human realms. Human realm itself is called heaven. The Devas, they call to this world is heaven, right? Human realm is the heaven for them. So let's all understand this wonderful teachings of the Buddha and practice this Dhamma accordingly in our daily life, so that we can live happily, peacefully, and one day we all can realize real peace, real happiness of Nibbana. May we all attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.